Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of In today's episode we're going to be going over Riot's version of the auto chess phenomenon called teamfight tactics. We're going to give you some basics and some tips on how to get started and drive your little legend to victory. If it's your first time here at the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, if you're watching this on another platform like LinkedIn or Instagram, please make sure you check the comments below for a link to my socials. Any kind of engagement you can give, a retweet, a like, a follow, a subscribe, anything at all, really helps me just get discovered, and it helps with the algorithm. So without further ado, let's get started. Teamfight Tactics, or TFT, is an auto chess or auto battle game. It's an 8-person part battle royale, part tower defense, part deck builder / draft game. The goal is to build a strong team composition with items that pair with the team and to be the last person standing. In TFT, a finish from 1 to 4 is considered a win, or a victory. If you're playing ranked, first place will reward the most amount of points, while fourth place will reward the least amount of points. Anything less than fourth place will lose league points at an increasing value, 5th place being the least amount of points lost, while 8th place will lose you the most amount of points. Despite the battles happen automatically, there's quite a bit of strategy involved in this game. You'll need to find units with the right synergy for the army that you want to build. You have to balance your currency to make sure you have enough money to buy those units, and make sure you're high enough level to put all of them on the battlefield. Placement is key. You don't want to put your squishy archers or mages on the front line so they can just get destroyed by the enemy team. At the start of the game, there's a carousel where you will choose a champion with an item. This will happen every 4th match. Matches are displayed at the top of the map so you know what is coming up. The starting champion is not as important as the item the champion has. You want to try to look for items that synergize well with the champion. For example, a BF sword on Caitlyn, or a needlessly large rod on Ziggs. Something the character could potentially use. Keep in mind though, this is an 8-person free-for-all, so you might have multiple people fighting over the same unit. If you aren't quick enough, you might not get the item or the unit that you want. If you don't get the champion or item that you want in the first draft, it's not the end of the world. Quite often, you might end up actually selling your first champion for a unit that better synergizes with your team. Something to keep in mind, in this season of TFT, there are what are called galaxies. Most of your games will just be in a regular galaxy, but there are several different types of special galaxies. If it is a special galaxy, it will be displayed in the middle of the map at the start of the game. For instance, this particular galaxy, every 1, 2, and 3 cost unit will be level 2 instead of level 1 during the carousel phases of the round. If you're unfamiliar with what a particular galaxy does, you can hover your mouse over this icon for a tooltip that will explain the galaxy. Rounds 1 through 3. You will fight NPCs that will drop items, gold, or champions. You can choose to keep these champions or sell them. You can choose to immediately equip these items you found or hold on to them until you find the units that will be on your final team. This is completely up to you. The first 3 rounds are basically free and it's very unlikely you will lose to them unless you just aren't putting your units on the battlefield. Rounds 4 and on. From here on out, you'll be fighting other players in the lobby with the exception of the carousel phases and the NPC phases at the end of the rounds. The pairings will be random at first. As you win or lose your games, the game will try to pair you against other players with similar health. So if you're winning a lot of your first matches, you'll get paired against players who are also winning their matches. The same goes for losing. Now this isn't always the case, and sometimes you will find yourself in first place battling someone in last place, and vice versa. The shop. After round 1, the shop will open up and you can buy champions based off the amount of gold you have. The champion's cost is displayed in the top left corner. You can buy these units by clicking on them and they will go to your bench. Your bench can hold up to 9 units. At any point, if your bench is full, you can no longer buy champions unless you sell one of the previous recruited champions or you place one of the bench champions on the battlefield. The only way you can do this though is if you have a free spot available. The number of champions you can have on the board is determined by your character level, which the max level is 9. You can buy as little or as many champions as you want, provided you have enough gold and enough spots on your bench. You can also refresh the shop as many times as you want for 2 gold. Synergy. Your goal here is to recruit the same champion to upgrade them and or recruit champions for the synergy you are going for. It requires 3 1-star champions to upgrade to a 2-star, and 3 2-star champions to upgrade to a 3-star, which are stronger versions of the champion, the 3-star being the strongest version of the champion. The synergies are displayed in the top left corner, and most synergies have a scaling up effect, meaning the more of a certain type of unit you have, the higher the bonus gets. If you're unsure of what synergies to go for, I suggest an application called blitz.gg. It will show you the recommended compositions as well as recommended items on specific champions. Alternatively, you can just wing it and see what you like, or you can use a site like MOBA Analytics to map out the team you want to go. I'll leave a link for both in the comments below. Something to keep in mind, the champion pool is shared and it is also random. So if you're not finding the particular units you're looking for, you could be getting extremely unlucky, which happens, or there could be someone else trying to go the same or a similar composition that you are and buying the units before you get the chance to. This is a strategy call that you might have to make, to choose to force the composition, knowing that there are other people fighting you for it, or to swap to a composition that you'll have an easier chance of building the units that you want. Items. There are 8 different types of starting items which can each be combined with another item to make a final item. Each different combination provides a different end result, so while you can just wing this, I would suggest using Blitz or at the very least using an item cheat sheet to know the items you want to build. Economy management. We won't go too in depth in this topic because this could be an entire video on its own. The main thing is you want to make sure you have a high enough level that you aren't falling behind other members in the lobby, and you can put all of your units on the battlefield that you want to put on. You can buy experience for 4 gold as many times as you want, as long as you have enough gold to cover the cost. You want to make sure you have enough gold to buy and upgrade the units for your army. As long as you're doing this, you should be pretty good on your economy. Health management. Everyone starts at 100 health unless you are in a specific galaxy, which changes them. You want to think of your health as a resource, and you want to have enough that you can afford to lose a few rounds and not be eliminated. The important thing is to not give up until your health actually reaches 0. During the carousel drafting phases, barring the first one, each player is caged in a ring. The players with the least amount of health are released first, granting them the first choice of the items. Generally speaking, this means the players towards the bottom of the lobby are going to have a better chance of getting the best items, while the players who are winning are going to get the worst items. This is an excellent catch-up mechanic, and I can't tell you how many games I've stabilized at single-digit HP and been able to go on to win the whole lobby. Recap. TFT, while simple in premise, is a highly strategic game. You must find the right balance between keeping your health high enough to be able to not be eliminated, build the right composition of units while fighting other players for coveted units, build the best items you can with the random items that are dropped or you draft. So there's a lot of things to juggle, and it is glorious when you create the perfect team composition with the best items and smash your foes. It's also very satisfying to just take what you're giving and roll with it and see how far you can push it. So are you the next TFT Grandmaster? Can you take your little legend to countless victories? The only way to know is to try this game mode in the League of Legends client. Thank you everyone for watching, and you have just gotten good at TFT.